What if the career you spent years preparing for is already being mastered by AI before you even write your first resume? Imagine graduating with a pristine degree, only to find the entry-level jobs you expected to start with have completely vanished. This is the reality facing Gen Z, the first generation that has to actively compete with artificial intelligence from day one of their careers. But the biggest threat isn't that you'll be replaced by a robot, it's something far more subtle, and it's happening right now. According to a recent report by Goldman Sachs, generative AI could automate up to 300 million full-time jobs globally, with young workers and entry-level employees facing the highest exposure. In fact, a study from the National Bureau of Economic Research reveals that companies implementing AI systems are reducing their entry-level hiring by up to 25%. Consider the example of Klarna, a global fintech giant. Within just a few months of deploying an AI assistant, they automated the work of 700 customer service agents, achieving the same output with a fraction of the human staff. Experts at the World Economic Forum predict that by the end of this decade, over 85 million jobs will be displaced, and the vast majority of these are junior roles. This means the traditional corporate ladder, where you start at the bottom and work your way up, is losing its bottom rungs. Young professionals are finding that the tasks once used to train them, like writing basic copy, writing simple code, and compiling data spreadsheets, are now being executed by AI in seconds for a fraction of the cost. This is not a distant prediction. It is your immediate reality. For Gen Z, this shift impacts your first job, your future income, and the financial stability of your family. You are entering a workforce where the rules of the game have changed overnight. In the past, companies were willing to hire inexperienced graduates and pay them to learn on the job. Today, with AI tools capable of draft writing, data analysis, and basic design, employers expect immediate productivity. They no longer want to invest months training junior workers when an AI can do the baseline tasks instantly. This creates a critical career gap. How do you get the experience required for mid-level roles if the entry-level roles no longer exist? Your career trajectory is threatened not because you lack talent, but because the entry-level market is shrinking. The anxiety of sending out hundreds of job applications and receiving only automated rejections is a direct consequence of this silent, automated transition. If you do not adapt, you risk being left behind in a shifting economy. To understand the depth of this challenge, we must first look at the traditional entry-level jobs that have long served as the foundation of professional careers. For decades, university graduates in business, technology, and creative fields entered the workforce as junior analysts, assistant writers, entry-level programmers, or graphic designers. These roles were characterized by high-volume, repetitive execution. You compiled the spreadsheets, you wrote the first drafts of blog posts, you wrote the basic boilerplate code, or you resized the marketing banners. While these tasks were often tedious, they served a vital educational purpose. They were the training grounds where you learned the language of business, developed work ethic, and built a professional network. In return, companies accepted lower productivity from junior staff as an investment in the future leaders of the firm. There was a mutual agreement that kept the talent pipeline moving. But this foundation is now cracking under the pressure of automated intelligence. The very jobs that were designed for you to learn on are the ones most vulnerable to automation. But that is only the beginning of the shift. The real disruption lies in how generative AI targets these exact execution-focused tasks. Large language models and AI agents do not need coffee breaks, sleep, or months of onboarding. They can write a marketing email in 3 seconds, write a Python script in 5, and analyze a complex financial statement in 10. Tools like ChatGPT, GitHub Copilot, and Midjourney are no longer just toys. They are highly efficient digital workers. In a corporate environment, a manager can now use these tools to perform the work that previously required a team of junior employees. For example, instead of hiring 3 junior copywriters to draft social media posts, a company can use an AI writer to generate 50 variations in seconds, leaving just 1 senior manager to review and approve them. This dramatically reduces the demand for entry-level human labor. The AI doesn't need to be perfect. It only needs to be faster and cheaper than a human trainee. As these models continue to improve, the capability gap between junior workers and AI is widening, making it harder for new graduates to compete. However, an even bigger change is already underway in the corporate sector. We can see concrete evidence of this change in the hiring patterns of major corporations. Tech giants like Google, Meta, and Microsoft have shifted their focus from massive headcount expansion to organizational efficiency, which is corporate shorthand for doing more with fewer people, aided by AI. A survey by Resume Builder found that 38% of business leaders have already replaced employees with AI, and another 44% predict AI-driven layoffs in the near future. In the financial sector, firms are using AI to analyze market trends and draft research reports, tasks that used to occupy fleets of fresh MBA graduates. In the creative industry, gaming companies are using AI to generate concept art, reducing the need for junior artists. These are not isolated experiments. They are systemic shifts in how businesses operate. The data shows that the correlation between economic growth and job creation is decoupled. Companies are growing their revenues while keeping their staff flat or even shrinking their workforce. This is the reality of the AI-driven economy. But the real disruption hasn't arrived yet, and it involves the speed at which this is happening. Most people assume this transition will take decades, allowing workers plenty of time to retrain. However, the timeline of AI adoption is compressed compared to any historical technology. The internet took nearly 2 decades to reshape the workforce. Mobile technology took a decade. In contrast, generative AI reached hundreds of millions of users in just months, and corporate adoption is happening at an exponential rate. Within the next 3 to 5 years, we will reach a tipping point where AI literacy is no longer a resume highlight, but a baseline requirement for any office job. But this is where things become unexpected. Many people assume this rapid timeline means the complete elimination of human work, but the reality is more complicated. The contrarian view is that AI will not eliminate jobs entirely. Instead, it will elevate the expectations for entry-level workers. A junior employee who knows how to orchestrate AI tools can now produce the output of a mid-level manager. The timeline is not about the end of work, but the end of traditional low-skill execution. What happens next could change everything. This brings us to the alternative path that Gen Z must take to survive. Since the bottom rungs of the traditional career ladder have been automated, you cannot rely on the old playbook of submitting generic resumes and waiting for a training program. You must become an AI conductor rather than an executor. This means learning how to direct AI systems to produce high-value results. Instead of trying to compete with AI in speed or memory, you must focus on skills that AI cannot replicate: critical thinking, complex problem solving, strategic synthesis, and emotional intelligence. In this new landscape, the most valuable professionals are those who can bridge the gap between business problems and AI solutions. You must build a portfolio of projects that demonstrate your ability to leverage AI to solve real-world problems. By positioning yourself as a high-leverage worker who can deliver immediate value, you bypass the crowded junior market and enter the workforce as an indispensable asset. This is your new career roadmap, but if this continues, what does the broader future look like? If these trends continue, the structure of the corporate world will look radically different in the next decade. We will see the rise of the micro-multinational, companies built by small teams of 3 to 5 people, generating millions in revenue by leveraging networks of AI agents. The traditional corporate hierarchy, with layers of middle managers and legions of junior executives, will become obsolete. In this environment, the demand for traditional resumes will disappear, replaced by digital proof of work, public portfolios, and verifiable problem-solving capabilities. Education will also transform. Universities will shift from teaching rote memorization and technical execution to teaching prompt engineering, system design, and philosophical ethics. The second-order effect of this will be a massive divergence in the job market. There will be high demand for highly skilled AI conductors and hands-on physical workers in trade industries, while the traditional white-collar middle class faces severe compression. Those who rely solely on academic credentials without practical AI orchestration skills will find themselves locked out of high-paying careers, while those who master the technology will command unprecedented leverage. This challenge also presents the greatest opportunity of your lifetime. The barrier to entry for building a business or creating a product has never been lower. With AI, a single Gen Z professional has the capability of a software engineer, a copywriter, a graphic designer, and a financial analyst all in one. You must develop 2 primary skill sets: deep AI orchestration, knowing how to write complex prompts, chain AI tools, and automate workflows, and human-centric communication, which includes storytelling, negotiation, and relationship building. The emerging roles of the future are not junior executives. They are AI operations managers, prompt architects, and human AI integration specialists. By focusing on these areas now, you position yourself at the forefront of the new economy, turning the threat of automation into your ultimate competitive advantage. The future does not belong to the AI systems, nor does it belong to those who ignore them. It belongs to the generation that learns to run alongside them. Will you let AI replace your entry-level skills, or will you use it to amplify your potential? Subscribe to Future Decoded for weekly strategies to help you navigate this transition and build a secure, prosperous future in the age of AI. Share your thoughts in the comments. How is AI already affecting your career plans?